Good morning, bookers, and welcome to What the Book. It is a dry Sunday for a change in Queensland, which is always pleasant. Of course, good morning to Kaya Carrington-Russell, just entering the studio now. Good morning, Kaya.
Good morning. Isn't the sun so lovely?
Oh, it is. It's a surprise. It's not sticking around apparently, but I'm going to enjoy it while it's here, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Good morning, of course, to Mark. MB Davis is in the room. Good morning, Mark.
How is it? Sunny here, too. Of course, it's probably pretty much always where I'm at, so that's nothing new. But that's exciting. We're all enjoying.
We are. Your mic's a little bit off. I hope it's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just Mark in general.
Is it? Just...
I mean...
How many drinks have you had tonight?
Not that many. I just starting. This is my first one. So I just tweeted out what I am speaking of.
Yes, what are you drinking?
I was running a little late, so I just sent out. So you can check my feed, see, but it's very much in honor of today's guest.
Right.
It's called the Joaquin Dead. Joaquin, like as in Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh.
And it's got a picture. It's artwork, and it's got a picture of what looks like Joaquin as the Joker on it.
Oh, that's cool. I'm looking at it
surrounded
now.
by some people. Yeah, it's kind of a cool label. And it actually tastes good, too.
It actually tastes good as well.
It's a Mexican red, so it's something a little different. It's beer for those of you not sure what beer is.
Of course.
This is one of them.
Welcome to, of course, our studio people. Peyton Storm's in the house, Sir's in the house.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
First off.
Party.
Yeah. First off, before I say anything else, congratulations, Mark, on finishing your first draft. Big snaps to you. I am
Thank you.
So incredibly proud of you. You pushed through, you set your date, you pushed through, you got it done. Super, super proud. Well done. Now the fun begins.
Yes, and I've been putting together a plan. So I have a plan for my second draft.
Because that's now.
Of course. So, yeah, I will be.
Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just
going to say, I'll be. you guys are going to follow along with me. There's
you
a
don't know how
delay.
giddy we all are about the situation.
I am.
I know. We're excited.
Pardon me, because you set your date for the first draft. Now you have to set your date for the second draft and get it nailed in, because now we're all excited. We're giddy. We're like, ooh, Mark. We're going to get out there, launched. And I just can't be prouder of you. Very excited day today. Now, we have our guest in the house. Now, this, I'm really intrigued to hear his voice. Kaya, you might want to just brace yourself a little bit.
Oh, my, okay.
I know. Okay. For those...
Are you sitting there?
Yeah. I don't know why, but my nail immediately went to my teeth. I'm like already biting my nail.
Now, I don't know if you stalk this particular Twitter person. I do heavily. There is a reason. Not only is he incredibly talented in what he does, but his Thirsty Thursday pictures were very well known for. He's a very, very handsome man, Kaya, a very handsome man. So I'm intrigued to hear the accent. I want to welcome to the show, of course, to What the Book. Dennis, let me get it right. Please let me get this right. Dennis Ramirez. Am I right?
Ramirez, yes.
Ramirez. Yes. I was close. I did it with an Aussie twang. That's it.
You were close. I like it that way. Let's keep it that way.
Oh, see?
Hi, Dennis.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Thanks for having me on. This is great.
See, I told you, Kaya. Already. So
do not disappoint. I love it.
We're going to try and behave, Dennis. We will. Sort of, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Mark's here to do this. Mark will keep us in line.
I'm just
Okay,
waiting
okay.
until you all
Mark.
stop gawking so that I can say hi to Dennis. Hi, Dennis. Hi. How you doing?
Oh,
Hey, people, what's going on?
oh, that's right. Mark's in the room, isn't he? Yes. And of course.
I'm over here. I'm drinking beer. What's up?
Now,
please.
I only learnt, thank you, Peyton, for pointing this out. I only learnt that Dennis has another nickname, which was Prince Charming. And if you, Kyra, if you go stalk his page, you'll know why. You'll know.
I'm on it. I'm on it. Doing it now.
I'm not going to glory over your incredibly good looks, but we identify as we do, Dennis. We identify as we do. Now let's get on with this.
You were too kind. You were too kind.
Well.
You just have to get used to this, Dennis. She does it to me all the time.
Yes.
You just have to get used to it.
Do.
It's just a thing that happens here.
It's what we do.
No problem.
Okay.
It's what we do.
Gotcha.
Look, when it comes to Thirsty Thursday is a thing. I don't really get behind Titty Tuesday as much, but Thirsty Thursdays definitely a lovely day to peruse Twitter, because there are some beautiful people on our Twitter feed, and you, my gorgeous friend, are one of them. Now,
Thank you. Yeah. We are part of a very beautiful community.
Absolutely. Now,
I've only just learnt about this Thirsty Thursday. I'm looking through it now. Why did I not get the meme for this?
you need to store that little hashtag up in your brain and go perusing on a Thursday. there is some glorious specimens of beauty in the writing community. And I mean, I'm not like, yeah, I am just looking at looks. I'm sorry. I can't. You guys all put it out there. It's what happens. Now, Dennis, you are truly one of the most talented artists I think that I've seen in the writing community.
That's very sweet of you to say.
Have you always been a drawer? Have you, from a little Dennis, have always been interested in art or creating pictures?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, every little kid, dabbles and draws here and there, but I didn't really get heavily into it until I got into comic books, and that was around, I don't know, 2nd, 3rd grade, something like that. And it was just every day, just copying the pictures, and that's how it happened. It was. I don't know that it's like a family thing or an innate thing. It just, it looked really cool, and it's what I wanted to do when I grew up.
So,
but
at 2nd, 3rd grade, you started making comics yourself, like drawing them out?
Oh, no. I mean, that would have been, that would have been cool. I mean, but
I'm just setting it up for you.
No. At that point, I was just I would see a cool picture in a comic book and just copy it, and I would have like a little sketch pad I would bring to school with me, and kind of show all my friends, and they really dug it, so I just kind of did that for a while.
When
but no.
Sorry, go on.
I'm sorry. No, but the actual like making my own comics did not manifest until much later.
Now you're talking about, of course, it's published on Amazon. The Great Detective.
Yes.
Is the comic book. Tell me about it.
So, The Great Detective, it was a concept I came up with as a little kid. I just, I was doodling and I just drew a generic man in a trench coat and a fedora, and he had a magnifying glass and he was following footprints. So it existed as just a concept in my head for a long time, and when I got to this stage now where I was wanting to do more creatively, I pulled that character kind of back out of the cobwebs and wanted to officially do something with him because, you know, that was little Dennis's first, you know, foray into creating his own stuff. So I kind of wanted to pay homage to that.
I think that's amazing. It's just so, I don't know, comics baffle me on how they're done, because there's, I mean, I know there are artists out there that do the whole thing from start to finish, the whole shebang, and then there's other people that we've had on here that have been comic book artists that are either the illustrators or they do the words or they do what. So how like I'm a novelist, so I just write the words, and everything else, you know, gets done by somebody else. How does it work for you? How do you do this?
Well, I mean, it's so here's the thing. I love comic books and I love drawing. I love art, but I'm not a very good comic book artist, if that makes sense. You know, comic book art, you know, you have to get into the sequential storytelling. You know, you got to do 22 pages of you know, just whatever the story is. It's a hard discipline that I ultimately did not have the temperament or the patience for. So what I do now is I write the comic books and then I pay other artists to actually produce the interior.
So you do? Is it like a script?
Does that make sense?
Is it like a screenplay script kind of thing? I'm baffled. I really am, Dennis. Yeah, it's fascinating.
No, it's a very informal process. It's a lot like screenwriting. You're basically just describing to the artist what you want to see panel by panel, and you know, you can give them direction. But what I like to do, honestly, I like to let the artists, you know, kind of put their own stamp on it as well. So it's nice when they bring ideas to the table and they're fleshing out the ideas that you already have on the page. So yeah. I mean, the collaborators that I found, they're really great guys. They're really talented. They round out my ideas in ways that I did not expect, and that's one thing about comic book creation that I really love, just the collaborative aspect and the way that the artist kind of brings your ideas as a writer into areas that you didn't previously think of.
I'm fascinated. Mark, what's your take on this? Cool.
Yeah, I mean, actually, you know what? I reached out to Dennis because I knew he was so into comics. I'm into comics. I love comics. I believe it or not, the current novel that I'm writing. When I originally started sketching out ideas for it, just writing them in a notebook, it was my original inspiration was that I was toying with the idea of it becoming a comic, but for me, it ended up just being too big of a hurdle because I am, although I can draw a little bit, I'm nowhere near as talented as you are, Dennis, and definitely I understand what you're talking about. Like sequential storytelling art is a whole like subgenre of art that's a very specific skill that's like so crazy hard to do it well.
It is such a discipline, and you know I can draw pinups, you know, or covers, you know, all day long. If it's just a character, you know, in a dramatic pose, I mean, sure, that's fine and it's fun. But I mean, the grind of actually getting in there and, you know, drawing the same person over and over again in different positions, you know, it takes a level of concentration and skill that I never found in myself, unfortunately. So, you know, I'm glad I found the collaborators that I did. You know, there are special people. It takes a special person to do that.
And listen, because I'm a comic book guy, and girls, please chime in. But can I geek out for a second?
You go geek out.
We're always going to.
Let's get nerdy.
Look, I thirsted out earlier. You can geek out now. We're good to go.
Yeah. Right. Now you let me have them.
You have them for a minute. You play.
Nerdy, thirsty.
You can play with the toy.
Let's do it.
Okay, thank you. So Dennis, talk to me about some of your big comic book influences. Who are artists or writers that really impacted you? I can tell you for me, like Brian K. Vaughan is probably my favorite comic book writer. There's a few others, but he's up there for me. Who is your big influence?
So biggest. Okay, so there's probably Dino John Byrne. So he's kind of an old school guy. He revamped Superman back in the 80s. He's a real good one.
Nice.
My I guess biggest comic book heroes are the Image Comics guys.
Oh yeah.
The guys who founded Image. Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, all those people.
Yep. And you gotta even though he wasn't a founder, Robert Kirkman, because the guys. Walking Dead is freaking. It's like one of those runs, one of those series that is like comes along once in a generation of something that amazing. At least in my opinion, I think.
Yeah, he really captured something special there. Yeah.
I'm trying to Google names. Sorry.
Right. So Robert Kirkman, Brian K. Vaughan, these are guys who are like at the top of their game in the industry right now. They're putting stuff out that's always like selling out, in comic book stores.
Yeah, Brian K. Vaughan, he's Saga, right? Is that what he does?
Yes, and they went on hiatus for way, way, way too long. They just came back like a few months ago and resumed after being off on hiatus for years. And they left on this huge cliffhanger, and I was just like, no! But here's a problem. I'm a trade paperback guy, which for those of you that are aware, so comic books you can get single issue, right, where you go and you get the little floppy, single issues, and they're there and they come out every however often they're putting those out by the artist. Or there's trades where they bundle them together into kind of beefier paper stock, and like 5-6 issues to a little book there. And so I'm a trade guy. That means I wait for the bundle to come out. So it takes 6 months. So I'm on a delay. So now I'm like, I'm still waiting, but I know it's coming, and I'm just like so excited. I'm like, it's like Christmas is going to come early when it finally pops. So.
All right. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to date myself right now. I am, because I was a comic book girl. I'm not so much. I mean, I love them now. I don't own any that I'm aware of, but my son is very, very much into comic books, and he's asked me to print out. He asked me often to print out like the squares, the comic books, the comic book squares, and he likes to draw in his characters into that, which I find quite fascinating to watch, because the stories are just. He's got a very dark side, my son. I just go, okay, we're looking at a little.
I wonder where you got that from.
We're looking at a little Quentin Tarantino foreman here, I'm sure, to the point where I've been called into the school, just going, really? Is there a problem we need to know about? Yeah, no, he's just a bit wacky. Leave him be. I'm going to date myself. Archie comics. That was my thing. I used to love Archie comics growing up, but that confirms that I'm officially old. But I love it. It was great. I used to get them with my little pocket money. Yeah, as you do. Kaya, do you like comics?
See, I'm a nerd in a different way, very similar but different.
You are, that's right.
Yeah, I am a nerd. I'm manga. So similar concept, but different at the same time. And same thing as Mark was saying before. It's always, there's a particular series I would love to have as, whether it be manga or comic. But my little business brain also thinks at the back, how the fuck do I market this? Because it's a completely... left to center, like novels and manga and comic are completely different worlds. So I'm kind of curious as to how you do that, Dennis, or do you already in a community where you've kind of got all the bells and whistles, so to speak?
For marketing, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just the friends and contacts I've made through the Twitter writing community, to be honest.
Yeah.
That part. So a part of the creating process that I'm not very good at is the marketing aspect.
Oh, none of us are. It sucks. It's shit.
Yeah. To put it lightly. Oh my God. Yeah. It's the part about the creative process that I like the least. Making videos or ads for your work or whatever. I always feel like I'm bugging people if I'm, putting it in their face or putting it out there too much. So usually, I just finished my second issue, and I'll send a tweet every once in a while. Hey, by the way, this is out there. But as far as large coordinated marketing campaign, I've not cracked that particular nut yet.
Do you know what though, Dennis? I think you're underestimating yourself a little bit here because, right, and I'll explain myself why I'm saying that. Because and this is just my opinion. People can disagree with me. They can be wrong. It's okay. I will let people be wrong. Kyra and I have been in this business for a really, really long time. It feels like it has been a really, really long time, hasn't it, Kyra? It's been a while.
Coming up to 8 years soon.
Yeah, nearly 8 years. Now, we've seen so many authors come and go, graphic novelists come and go, comic book artists come and go. And they come in and they're full of all this massive big fire and drive, and they just burn out and then they go. And they're so busy trying to shove their books in everybody's face, like buy it. This is how I have to market. Buy it. And it doesn't work. It really does not work. What I see you do, and obviously by what you're saying right now, you're doing it subconsciously, which is phenomenal in itself, and I love it, is that you put enough up about your comics that keeps us interested in what you're doing, but you also, when you're not doing that, you're putting up your artwork, which shows us what you're about, which makes us interested in your talent as a writer, as a drawer. So you're inadvertently drawing us, pardon my pun, drawing us into your comic book world just by putting up your artwork. While you're not consciously going, here's my book, buy it, you're saying, here's what I do. Isn't it talented? Aren't you interested in what I do? And people are. They flock to you. I see the responses on it. It's phenomenal. So while you sit there and are saying that you're not, cracking the marketing nut, I'm actually thinking you're doing pretty damn good, Dennis.
Okay. I did not look at it that way, but yeah, I suppose that is a benefit of putting artwork out there. The intent was not to market. I think it was last week's episode, Mark, you said something about creating just because it's kind of in your blood. It's innate to you. If you're not drawing something or writing something, then it just feels wrong. That's kind of where I am with artwork and posting things. If I'm not busy creating something, it just feels, it doesn't feel right. But yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful added benefit. Yeah. That, I didn't really think about.
Well,
that would draw people to.
Yeah. And Peyton's just mentioned that it's what we do as writers when we do our writing prompts. So the VSS or, I put up the cover challenge on a Saturday, and it's amazing how many people have bought a book of mine off a prompt that I've written something to, that they've gone, oh, I kind of like the way you write, or Dennis, I like the way you draw. Let me go have a look at what else you're doing. So it's a really sort of subtle way of gaining organic followers and organic interest in your product. Yeah, very clever.
That's a
great point.
That's a good idea.
I was going to say too, though, I think like we talk about this all the time of being authentic and organic when it comes to social media, because that's how attracts like attracts like. You're going to attract your people, your tribe, but also, you know, it's cool. People can like read your book and everything or your comic, but it's who you are that they become quite attached to, I want to say. And so when you're showcasing different aspects of yourself, they love that because they feel like they're a part of your journey. So I think it's so important to post many different versions of yourself as to who you are, because you're getting an insight into your life and how you work. And that's really exciting.
Without like, you know, you want to keep there's a balance. There's got to be a balance to that. You know, you don't want every piece of your dirty laundry out there on the line flapping away for people to see or judge, because, you know, social media is very judgy. It's a very judgy place. But you don't know. Okay, because there's been, I'm going to get on my soapbox for a minute, people. Hang on a minute. I'm up on my soapbox.
Oh,
That's it. It's happening. I've seen a lot of posts lately about numbers, followers. I've got to have followers. In order to make my book sell, I've got to have followers. I've got to hit 10K. I've got to hit 20K. I'll follow you, follow me back, blah, blah, whatever. It doesn't fucking work, people. It doesn't work. It does. No. All it does is make me go, yeah, I don't have any interest in whatever you're doing, because that's all you're interested in is following or is in numbers. Where your sales will come, or where your tribe, your people, your niche market will be, is in finding the organic attraction that you have for people. Dennis, your artwork will that you put up will organically attract people to your comics. When you put them up, people will go, oh, that's right. Yes. Excellent. Let me grab it, because that's what we like. When people put up their writing prompts, their VSS stuff, their poetry, all of that sort of stuff. You read, Sir's in here agreeing with me. Thank you, sir. He puts up his poetry. I don't know how many people have bought his book off reading one of his poems and gone, geez, I like that. Let me go read your book. So instead of going, buy my book, it's like, this is who I am, you know, and letting them organically follow you. It's far more productive. So I think you're cracking it, Dennis. No, Don't put yourself down. Don't underestimate your talent.
Well, look at me. I'm already a few steps ahead.
You're nailing it. And then you add in a Thirsty Thursday pick, and the ladies are all there.
Thank you for coming to our TED Talk, Dennis.
All right.
I love it.
I'm getting down off my soapbox. Kaya, off you go. I'm done.
On my soapbox? No. Are you, though? You always say that.
I'm never off my soapbox. I can't help it. I have so many opinions. That's my problem. So many damn opinions on shit. All right, fine. I'll shush. Go, Kaya.
No problem. It's fun. So what are you working on now, Dennis?
Okay, so I got a few things in the pipeline. You know, I mentioned earlier I just finished Great Detective #2. It's available electronically, but the print version is not available yet. I got the reading proof back a few days ago, and there were a few things wrong with the cover, so I'll have to fix that before I can officially release it physically. But other than that, I do have a novella that I'm finalizing edits on to release this year, and in the middle of writing another.
Is that separate from The Great Detective? What is it, Dennis? Tell me.
Yes, it is different, separate. It's just a straight up novella. It has nothing to do with comic books.
Oh, what genre? What did you do? I'm intrigued now.
So what would you call it? It's not post-apocalyptic. It's during the event that is that what it's called? It's during the event that causes the apocalypse, I guess you'd say. I don't know what that weird in between that you call that. I don't know what genre you call that.
Apocalyptic.
Maybe dystopian, because you're kind of apocalyptic. All right, let's go with that. Apocalyptic.
Yeah, apocalyptic.
Yeah, but basically the general idea is following this man, going about a normal day, and then, what happens when a nuclear bomb goes off in a nearby city. Pandemonium erupts and society starts breaking down immediately, and it's basically just a story of this guy trying to get back to his family.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, kind of a simple premise, but I wanted to explore, how easily the trappings of society kind of crumble when emergencies happen.
All right, so this is going to be my question. Sorry, Kai, I've got a quick question. So you've gone from, because one of my questions was going to be how, when you're doing a comic and you're writing the screenplay, like I had struggled with writing a short story, let alone, nailing it down to a comic, which is, minimal words but maximum impact. It's why I do my VSS so religiously, because it's something I struggle with, to try and get maximum impact in minimal words. And when you're dealing with comics, that's the premise of it entirely. So did you find it hard to go from that to writing a more in-depth factor into a novella?
Not really. I guess honestly, the reason it was, I guess, novella length is because I guess because it was kind of minimalist. It doesn't go into deep background or things like that. It's very straightforward, and I don't know, that could be my limitation as a prose writer.
There's no limitation, Dennis. No limitations.
Okay. Okay. But no. I mean, I like those shorter format stories. Not to say that the longer epic kind of tales are nothing wrong with those. I do love those as well. But for me as a writer, I do prefer the more short and sweet kind of narrative.
Kai, you were going to ask a question?
You asked my question.
Oh,
two great minds.
Well, because it's to me, I find, like, just from my own point of view, when and I mean, it's just been recently that I've had to write an anthology input. So you're giving me a word count, and I don't like word counts. Oh, I like them when they're bigger, but, I don't like limited word counts, because I'm like, but they need to do this and they need to do this. And the characters are like, but we want to go do this. And I'm like, but you can't. I don't have time. You can't do that right now. So I think that's where it blows my mind when you bring it right down to a comic book, that to structure that, you're incredibly talented to do it. I completely tip my hat to how talented you are in order to create an entire story within that sort of limited words.
Yeah, I guess I mentioned earlier how informal the comic book writing process is. For example, I mean, you can be as brief or as detailed as you want. Basically, all you're doing is describing what you want the artist to put on the page, and then of course you're adding dialogue. But it's just personal preference. If you want, you could literally tell your artist, hey, draw this man in a room, and that's the only direction
I could just
you give.
See my artist, if I did this ever, my artist would have like a 6-page essay per square of what I wanted.
Yeah.
But there are people that do that. Like, if you read, Dennis, I've gotten like comic book scripts online. I'm sure, you probably looked at these things too. Uh-huh. You're right. It's so wildly different how one writer will, like, you take Alan Moore, right? And he will do that. He'll do exactly what you're talking about, Cintra. Well, he'll write for an individual page or, a handful of panels, and it'll be like just pages and pages and pages of description and all this kind of stuff.
And then this poor artist has to go, oh my God, I've got to put that into how many squares?
Right.
What?
and both, I'm convinced, are equally difficult, right? I mean, so there's
probably
a balance somewhere in the middle, but yeah, it's just a crazy, from the writer's perspective, it's freeing, but it's also like the Wild West. It's like anything goes, man.
It does. And the artist is so important that they're doing the heavy load of the work.
I think it would be very equal though, Dennis, I think. And do you then form that like a novelist with an editor, where you form that really tight relationship, that they understand where you're coming from? Is that the same between the artist and the script writer with the comic book, where you have to have two minds that understand each other?
Yeah, I would say that there is a bit of that, yes. Typically, though, I think in like a writer-editor relationship, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure how to describe it. I kind of see the editor as kind of like the boss.
No.
You need to.
Sorry, Lisa.
I mean,
if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Maybe it's not that way. Yeah, maybe it's not that way. I don't know, but for whatever reason, that was always my outlook on it. Like the editor, okay, this person knows grammar, they know characterization, they know all this stuff, so I should probably listen to them and do what they're telling me. Whereas in a writer-artist dynamic, at least in my experience, the artist is usually deferring to what the writer wants. I mean, it's important that that you're on the same page creatively, but in the end, the artist is always going to go, okay, you want it this way, sure, we'll do it.
And it is exactly the same. At the start, when I first put out my book, I thought that was the way it worked too, Dennis. But having now put out 20 plus books, I'm the boss of my characters are the boss of the books, and my editor makes it look pretty. That's all. I love her to death, and her job is very difficult when it comes to my books. She earns every cent that I give her, but the ultimate control is always with the writer, definitely.
Yeah. Can I just say, you are an inspiration. You're so prolific.
Who?
It's
me.
It's pretty awesome.
Me? No, Kaya is.
Yes,
Mark is. No, stop it. No.
20 books. Come on.
Kaya's the
books.
same. She's got a shit fuckload out there too. But look, we're not. I know that was an actual term of amount. So thank you very much. I said, that's very kind of you to say, Dennis. It's very sweet of you. We're just been in it a long time. That's all it is. It's just a long time slogging away, isn't it, Kaya? It's
a marathon.
It's understanding that we're not in it just for the quick win, because there is no quick wins. Even though artists that you hear of suddenly that shoot up to fame out of nowhere, if you actually go and research their history, they've been slogging at that shit for like 10, 15 plus years before they hit that one note that resonates. And I think that is the secret to building a career in the creative industries, is that you have to understand that you have to just settle in and ride that roller coaster, the good, the bad, the ugly, and just stick it out no matter what. That's the commitment you make to your art. In my view, that is.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I remember when I was younger, obviously, when I first started publishing, but one thing that I used to tell myself all the time, and I think it's for everyone, is hard work will always get me somewhere. It doesn't matter how long that takes me, though, but if I keep working hard, I'm going to get somewhere. And I think that, as you said, since then, I think it's exactly the formula that everyone needs, is you just really need to stick with it and believe in it. It'll get you somewhere eventually. And it's riding those dark days where you haven't made any sales this month or whatever else, and you're sitting there going, oh God, I'm just going to give up. Nobody loves me, whatever else. That's the point. That's the point.
where the people who are going to make it will move forward and go, you know what, next month's another month. I'm going to try a new tactic. I'm going to come at it in a different way. I'm going to, keep pushing through. The ones who aren't committed to it will fall back. And it's just the way it works, unfortunately. But,
Yeah.
And I think, let me say this. I think everybody can define success in their
Absolutely.
own way, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think if I'm going to sound like a Disney.
No, you go for it, you little. Look, we'll have two Prince Charmings on here. You go, Mark.
Okay. I'm the sidekick, but here we go. What I'm saying is, if you are defining success as being able to create and put something out there and find readers, then the only person that can take that dream away from you is you. The only one that can take that success away from it is you. So
exactly,
you just have to frame it correctly. I'm convinced of that.
Absolutely.
And part of it is I'm old and I just don't give a shit about the other stuff really all that much. Yeah. So.
Well, we're all together.
But there you go.
You're absolutely right, Mark. Absolutely right. It is defining your success for yourself. If getting one story put out there and being able to hold it is your success story, then that is amazing and it should be strived to get. And, not everybody wants to be, the next, whatever her name is. Oh, look, I just forgot her name.
J.K. Rowling.
That's the one. That's the one. Hey, not everybody.
You know what? Nobody wants to be her. I'm just going to put her out there.
Right, there you go.
Not right now.
Not right now, no.
Anyway,
not everybody's. That's not everybody's idea of success. You're very right. I'm. Thank you for pointing that out. And
I could not agree more.
I feel like for a group of us collectively, for people who get no sleep, we're very passionate.
Yeah, that's because we're driven on caffeine.
It's the only thing keeping us going. It's not sleep.
It really is.
Are you a coffee drinker, really Dennis? Are you a coffee drinker?
I am. I mean, I'm a relatively recent convert. I did not drink it for, I don't know, in the last year or so, honestly. Yeah, to the point where, the coffee creamer is like the most important item on our grocery list. If there
you go.
If no one has purchased
stuff. Is that what's
if
that
no one
called?
has purchased the creamer,
Coffee creamer. It's such an American thing.
It's mate. It's coffee mate.
Is it coffee mate?
You don't have it there?
Is it coffee mate?
It's like a sweetener.
Really?
It's a creamy sweetener.
Yeah, coffee.
All right, okay, because
but there's flavored.
Sir made me buy
It's not just.
Sir made me buy some coffee mate, which I did, and guys, it's just weird. I mean, I get it. I do. I get it. But
it's all about what you're used to.
Though. Like, where's your friend?
It's huge in the States.
Just put some damn milk in
so many different flavors.
Just put some milk in the damn coffee and move. I don't understand it. it.
There's no flavor, though.
It's coffee
flavored, Dennis. What else do you want?
I'll tell you what. I have found a way to collectively piss everybody, coffee and tea drinkers off, and it's because I drink tea, but I put flavored coffee creamer in my tea.
What the fuck?
And literally everyone is like, what the hell is wrong with you, dude? And I'm like, I don't know. It makes me happy.
Look, if it makes you happy, sweetheart, you go for it. You go for it.
I know.
Do you know what makes me happy? Before we start a game quickly, what makes me happy is that I have one of the connections you were talking about, Dennis, on the Twitter community is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I don't understand the hatred of it because I fucking love it. But I have a Twitter follower who understood my need. Kai, you're gonna just brace yourself, sweet pea. Brace yourself.
I'm ready.
Who has already sent, it's in the mail, it's on its way, a collection of Girl Scout cookies to me. I know! What?
Oh, get ready.
I have 5.
Which ones did you get?
5 boxes on their way to me. I'm like, you can come up. We'll have a Girl Scout cookie party.
Okay. I'm excited.
I've got.
Do you know which ones you're getting?
I know there's the traditional ones, the trefoils, is it called?
Thin mints.
There's thin mints.
Oh, okay.
I love that. Is it Samoas or samosas or something like that?
One
of
Samoa.
There's
Are those the coconut chocolate ones?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That sounds good.
There's a peanut butter. There's a peanut butter one.
I'm dead.
Oh yeah.
And there's another one. There's 5, and I'm just like, cookie gases.
My feet are legitimately going like the Flintstone underneath the table right now. I'm so excited.
I know.
Let me give you a tip. Let me give you a tip on the thin mints. Put them in the freezer.
Oh, okay.
And then eat them when they're really cold.
Yeah. Because we don't get them here, and I did make a big post about it saying that I was devout about it, and this particular follower went, look, I'll chuck in a few boxes. And I'm like, oh, yes. Thank you. So excited. All right.
I need to be more involved in the Twitter community. I'm going to get cookies out.
Come to Twitter. We have cookies.
One more.
You won me over.
Absolutely.
Right. We've got to get to our game in a second, Dennis, but I've got one more question for you, and it's related, but it's not related. It's one of your last posts that you put up. What is the Batman like? Rating out of 1 to 10. The Batman.
Oh, so good.
Oh, okay.
No spoilers. I haven't seen it. No
spoilers. Just rate me. Rate it.
Yeah,
no spoilers. I'm going to give it a solid 8.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
excited.
I'm gonna like Robert in it.
I think you will. I was very surprised how much I enjoyed his portrayal.
Okay.
It was really good.
Nice.
Have you seen it too, Kyle?
Really visceral.
I did, and I had popcorn, and it was great. But,
thanks for the invite.
Yeah, I agree with Dennis. I'd probably. Sorry, I would.
You don't get no Girl Scout cookies now.
You call me that.
You're never getting Girl Scout cookies now. All right, so it's a solid 8, Dennis.
Yes.
I like it. All right. I'll give it a whirl then, because I'm a bit like, if it's, if it's Twilighty, but if you're going to give it an 8.
There was one scene, I'm not going to say what it was, but he was portrayed like, can't let emotion out, and he had that constipated face look, and I was like, Twilight. There was one moment
really?
Listen, I saw the greatest meme, and it was Robert Pattinson, and it was basically him as a vampire, and then next to it, it was him as Batman, and it was like, vampires do become bats. And I just thought that was pretty cool.
That's cute. I like that. I
can't wait to see the movie.
Does he take his shirt off in it?
He does, yes.
There's a 9. It's a 9.
Shirtless Pattinson.
I read somewhere, though, he refused. He was one of you who he refused to actually bulk up for it.
No, he did. He didn't really need to.
I read something about that.
But
that's true. That's true. He was,
Well, Batman is a lot of suit. There's a lot of suit in Batman, though, just generally speaking. He has a lot of armor in his suit. He's always been that way. The people who have done Batman acting, who have played Batman, I should say it that way. It just sounded stupid the other way. But, it is a lot of costume. He has a costume. He isn't like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Right. The 6-packs are part of the
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is he's a rich man with toys. He doesn't actually have powers himself. He's a rich man with toys.
And sometimes
toys.
The nipples are part of the costume. So.
I like
nipples,
it.
Yeah.
No.
The nipples are hot.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Talking about nipples, let's get on to our game at the end of...
Nice segue. I love that.
Thank you. I appreciate the acknowledgement, Dennis. All right. We play a game at the end of the book called Booker Feud. We spend a lot of money on our music. It's like,
I like it.
It's like Family Feud, but of course we call it Booker Feud for legality reasons. We need you to pick a team, Dennis. Would you like to be on Team Mark and geek out, or would you like to be on Team Kaya and not geek out? Oh, well, she geeks out, but she just geeks out in a different way. She's a creepy geek.
Let's see. I'm gonna.
How did I get that one? was like, I'm into the cute Japanese stuff. Should I be like the cute?
No. We didn't get our intro.
Oh, no, you didn't do your intro. All right, hang on. Let me do the intros. Radio, wait.
Yeah.
All right, okay. All right, Dennis. On Team Kaya, you have axe-throwing, bikini-wearing author extraordinaire, Kaya Carrington Russell. All right. And on Team Mark, you get lightsaber welding, Jedi of his own mind, master of his own words, MD Davis. Which team would you like to be on?
Okay, as much as I love lightsabers, I've seen that before, but I have not seen a lot of axe throwing. Yeah. So Kaya, let's do it.
I'm so surprised. Yes.
All right, Dennis. Dennis.
So she needs the help.
She does. She does. All right. Okay. So what will happen is I will ask a question. They are actual Family Feud questions. So there's been 100 Americans surveyed. The top 5 answers are on my screen. First team to get 3 out of 5 wins. It's very, very simple process. This is a little tricky though, people. So you might want to think outside the box. Outside the box. I know. All right. Team name, Kaya and Dennis. What team name would you like?
Dennis, should we choose Batman or Catwoman or something?
I think either one of those would be appropriate. Yes. Oh. Let's go with the Bat and the Cat.
The Bat and the Cat.
The Bat and Cat. Oh, I love that.
Yes. All right. Team Bat and Cat. All right, Mark, what team name would you like?
The Joker.
Sorry. I shouldn't laugh quite as well as
I kind of did. In a lot of ways. Yeah, we'll go with the Joker.
Okay, and the Joker. The Cat, the Bat, and the Joker. We just got like a rock team sort of right up there, isn't it?
I feel like we need to get our costumes on.
Yeah. Does that make me the Penguin? Oh, no, I don't want to know. All right, the question is, first person in with their team name gets to go first, and we'll alternate till we get an answer. All right, name something that gets drawn.
Bat and Cat.
Bat and the Cat. All right, you guys can confer before you give an answer, but we're going to try and make this a short game. Name something that gets drawn.
So, Dennis, I'm only good at buzzing in really quickly. The answers I depend on you.
Okay, that's it. Fair enough. Okay, I'm going to go with drawn. Let's go with portrait.
All right, perfect.
Papa, not on the list.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
Sorry.
Straight off.
Probably more painting.
Team Joker, name something that gets drawn.
I'm going to go simple here because I think maybe you should think outside the box. Maybe this is it. I don't know. We're going to go with smiley face.
Papa, not on the list. No. Think outside the box, people. Outside the box.
That was outside the box.
It's not outside the damn box.
Ooh, okay.
It's not outside the damn box.
All right.
Bat and a cat. Name something that gets drawn.
Outside the box. How about like house plans, schematics? Like what do you call them?
Like the architect.
You draft blueprints to a house.
Oh, blueprints.
Is that what you'd like?
Yeah. There you go.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Sure.
Papa, not on the list. Not on the list. All right, we're heading way off our direction right now. I thought I'd pick an easy one, but it's not.
You said outside the box. How far out of the box are we
Everyone's
going
just
here?
ganging up on the host now.
All right, I'm going to...
I feel like this is 7 right now. This is like 7. I'm like, what's in the box?
7 for my friends, people who don't know. Now, think... Out of the 5 answers, people, there is only one that involves a pencil. That's your clue.
Okay.
Team Joker, name something that gets drawn.
Okay.
Sir and Peyton are helping. There are helpers in the thing. Peyton and Sir. I'm not saying that any of them are correct.
Peyton,
I am not saying that any of those are correct.
Has a great suggestion.
But they're on outside of the box.
But I like Peyton's suggestion a lot, and I really want to go for that. So I'm going to say conclusions because I think that's a great answer.
Ding, ding, ding. It's on the list. Well done. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Nice.
Excellent.
Gosh, she's good.
That is number one. Number one on the list, Peyton. Well done, girlfriend. Well done. But this is there's only one of these answers that involves a pen or pencil. Everything else is outside the box. Team Cat and Bat, name something that gets drawn.
So, Dennis, I was thinking blood.
You know what? That's a really good one.
Do you think so? I'm not confident, but
is that on the list? Is that? Oh wait, no. Is that your final answer? Is that on the list? I'm going to ask myself.
I like that one. Yes.
All right. Yes.
It's on the list. Well done. Yes. Blood is on the list. We have a 1-1 scenario. I like it. Now we're cooking, people. We're cooking with gas. All right, Team Joker. Name something that gets drawn. So far, we have conclusions and we have blood.
I got this beer in me, man. Helping. I'm gonna go with another answer in the chat, sir. He very rarely lets me down. I can't say never, but rarely. I'm gonna say gun or pistol.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Ding, ding, ding. It's on the list. Yes. Well done. Well done.
Cool.
Well done. All right. We have 3 now. Name something that gets drawn. We have conclusions. We have pistols and we have blood. Team Bat and Cat, what is your next answer?
Dennis, just remember, if we lose, we still have our friendship, okay?
we still have axe throwing every Saturday night.
Look, okay, hang on a minute. If you're going axe throwing and it happens to be on a Thursday, I'm coming to watch. Okay, I'm coming to watch. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm coming to watch. All right, what's your answer?
No date. All right. Okay, does cards make sense? Does that make sense at all?
Oh, that's a good one.
Drawing cards.
Like when you play poker and stuff, yeah.
Is that your final answer?
I have faith in Dennis, yes.
It's on the list. Well done.
Sure.
Yay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That and the cat.
We have one answer left in a tiebreaker situation. Now, you did hear when I said at the start, because I'll do a first served sort of tiebreaker in a minute. Now, you did hear at the start that I said there was one answer that required a pen or a pencil. So far we have conclusions, we have pistols, we have cards, and we have blood. There's one answer left. The first team in with their team name is going to get a chance to win this game. Name something that gets drawn.
Oh.
Bat and the cat.
I love how you just go in there, Kai. You're just like, screw this. We're just in.
I'm trigger happy. I have no answer. Do any of that, Dennis?
All right, what is your answer? You have one shot.
Is signature reasonable? I mean, you don't draw a signature though.
No, you do not, Dennis. You do not.
Okay.
I think it's what was that?
A sketch.
What about like Sir's? But it's kind of simple, but it's picture.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't say I was confident though.
Come on, let's get an answer.
Okay, I'm going with picture.
Is that your final answer?
Picture. Yes, we're holding hands. We're waiting for this moment. We're in suspense.
Damn it.
You are the winners. Congratulations. Well done. Yay. Cat in the Bat wins what the Booker feud today. Well done, guys.
Thank you, Dennis.
See,
congratulations.
It was quite a simple game once we got outside the damn box. Outside the box. See, I give you all the clues at the start. Stop ganging up on me with this shit. I mean, I give you all the clues. Well, congratulations, Dennis and Kaya, on your win today of Book a Feud.
Yay, we're going extra in after this. Don't worry about it, guys.
Yes, excellent.
Can we arrange this? I'd really like that. I reckon that would be a really fun activity to do. I mean, we've watched your video, Kaya, and it's just fucking hot. So, you know, I can't promise.
It should be a little bit psycho.
I can't promise I would look that good, but I'm going to give it a good swing. I'd give it a good swing. Have to give it.
It's like a good corporate retreat.
Wouldn't it be?
Like if we had a corporate retreat, it'd be like, okay, we're all wearing bikinis and throwing axes. Ready?
Okay. All right. I'd pay for this, Mark. I would pay for this. This would be hilarious. Oh my God. Oh,
count me in.
You've just got.
Count me in.
Oh, hello. My fantasy's just all coming true right now. This is brilliant. Okay. Focus, Sintra. Focus. We have been speaking, bookers, for those who are playing at home and following along on this crazy ride that we do every Sunday or Saturday, depending on where you live. We've been speaking to Dennis Ramirez, the comic book author of The Great Detective. 1 and 2 will be out soon. It is on, is it available on Kindle? It's available on Kindle at the moment, number 2.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
So you can go grab book 1 and book 2, people. Go do it.
Yeah, and book 1 is on sale, actually, so get it while it's hot.
$2.99. Cheap as chips. That's less than a cup of coffee, people. Let's just go grab it. Support our writing community, authors and artists, and, you know, do the right thing. Buy them. Thank you for being here, Dennis. It has been phenomenal to have you here.
Thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure, and I appreciate you so much.
And we appreciate your Thirsty Thursday photos, I'm just saying. And your art.
I do.
I was going to say, and I appreciate your personality too, Dennis.
Actually, I want to talk to you about a cover. Have you ever done book covers? I'll have a chat to you off screen. We'll see about that. All right.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
no, I'd love to. I'd love to make use of your pen work.
Yeah, I am here.
Wow. He's like, my eyes are up here, ladies.
Oh my God, I get myself into so much trouble, I swear to God. All right, thank you, Mark, for being here. Congratulations again on getting your first draft nailed out. We look forward to having our updates as to where you're going on your journey.
Yes, absolutely.
Very proud of you, Mark. Very proud. Of course, Kaya.
Thank you.
Loving you, girlfriend. Go back to work now. Go sell something.
Yay.
All right.
It's what I'm good at.
Not everything that you're good at, but that's another discussion.
I'm good at selling myself.
All right. Thank you, people, for being here. Bookers, of course, you're the most dedicated. We love our people. Sir Peyton, thank you for coming in and chatting to us. And being part of our Booker community. We will see you all again next Sunday, same Booker time, same Booker channel. Look, I feel like I'm doing like a comic book ad all of myself then, isn't it? Different Booker guests. Of course, we will see you then. Ta-ta for now. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.